All right, good evening, everybody. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners, Housing Authority of St. Charles Parish, Tuesday, October 26, 2021. Time is 6:05. I call the meeting to order. And please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Seeing that we have a quorum, we'll now review the minutes from the 6/29 meeting. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I just want to point out in the minutes, just to the point, there's I must say contradicting information. Mm-hmm. In the first paragraph, it says Ms. Hayes was in attendance, and if you go to the second page, it says Ms. Hollis presented the agency's report due to Ms. Hayes' absence. So,
I think I got there late that evening.
Okay.
A few minutes late.
Can we reflect that somewhere as a change in the minutes? Just so it's accurate. And then, anything else?
No, sir, not for me.
All right, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented with the correction stated.
All right, we have a motion. Second?
Second.
All right, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. All right, moving on to review of low rent and HCVP financials. Any discussion?
I do some, but Dean, Ms. Hollis hasn't made it here yet. I guess I can't ask her.
Okay. Do we want to make a change and come back to the financial report? Well, here's Ms. Hollis now. We'll go ahead and do that when she comes up. Good evening, Ms. Hollis.
Good evening.
Just about to review financials.
How y'all doing? All right.
Good, thank you.
What does that mean? Does that mean you want me to do it?
I think Mr. Woods has a couple questions for you.
Yeah, okay.
Make sure your mic's on.
What month are we dealing with? Because we have several months here.
Mr. Woods?
I'm dealing with
Today's packet or the previous?
today's packet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Today's packet.
You have a question for her?
Yeah.
You're getting to it, I think.
I can ask a couple of questions I have, but I'm going to request something of the board after a couple of questions. Yes, I look for details. Just quickly on account number, checking account in your bank statements under
You're on the bank statements?
bank
Okay.
statements.
Mm-hmm.
Business checking ending 4820.
Low rent or that?
It's low rent. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm ready.
And checks
Wait, hold up. I have two low rents. I mean, two HCBs. Same change.
I'm on the month of ninth month.
So, is it the first, it's before or after the pink?
It's the first,
I
second,
got it.
third page after.
No, Brandy, come see, I have two Section 8s. I definitely have two Section 8s, it's saying Section 8. But you can start with your
Yeah,
question.
well, the question I had, I'm looking at the check numbers that cleared. I'm seeing two number check 1018s. And yes, we do have the canceled check I see on the back. We do have two 1018s that cleared. They were both dated the same,
Section 8.
check written on the same date. So did we,
Just let me-
It looks like it was cashed twice. It's the same exact check.
One of them was credited back to us. The bank processed it twice, not sure why, but one was credited.
okay. All right, then that answers that one. Just because it caught my attention, I saw where we did transfer 25,000 from this account to our Section 8 account.
We transferred from Section 8 to low rent because of the hurricane. We couldn't do operation draws, but we still needed to meet our obligations. So that money will be replaced. Our withdrawal was approved today. So it was approved, it hasn't hit the account.
Okay.
So we haven't had a draw since August.
Okay, and I know you have these, but I'm gonna ask anyway. So, for the checks that were written and stuff like that, we do have supporting documents and all of that, receipts?
Yeah, we don't, it's required. We're zero tolerant. Department of Housing and Urban Development does not reimburse us anything that does not have supporting documentation.
Okay,
That's, and we submit that on a monthly basis. Brandy, would you start CCing the board on that? Y'all gonna get overwhelmed with paperwork, but you can look at it electronically. Yeah.
guess I'm one of them kind of people who like to get overwhelmed. Not with that was kind of, to be honest with you, as far as I could get into this particular month's financial report.
But there's some things that I would like to go over.
My only question on, as far as checks for low rent, was you have check 1026, and I don't see who that was paid to.
1026 was written, first of all, let me also point some things out that I wasn't questioned about. There's several checks that I wrote, one signature. I was the only person in Houston.
Yeah, I understood what that was about. So.
Yeah, I was the only person in Houston. The check for $1,500 was either to We Made or Greenhouse International Church.
Yeah.
We Made did a 18-wheeler tour for us and delivered it to Houston for the tenants that we had that was evacuated. I think I might have
Who is
sent
that?
pictures. That's LaRon.
But what's it called?
We Made. It's an acronym. It's its foundation.
Okay, that must be who that, because the other, you have Greenhouse International Church here.
Yeah. And I've contacted everyone pertaining to the disaster money that was written while we were out there. We got caught up in some very unusual circumstances, and I'll get into that in more detail when I do my report. But we end up in a hotel with our tenants. Houston Housing Authority really built us out majorly. But again, I'll get into that. As it relates to the checks, Webb, you and I are probably going to have to get with the bank so that we can secure. Oh, Brandy, once we got back, Brandy lost everything. I'm not sure if everybody knows that. So her family has been in the process of identifying somewhere to stay, which you've done, right, in New Orleans, and moving. So we have not resolved that with the bank, but because our relationship with the bank, they honored the checks. They also allowed us while I was in Houston to process our landlord payments. Without a signature, we've resolved that. So we were able to make sure our landlords got their money in a timely manner during the hurricane. Everybody was needing money.
All right. Yeah, I was aware of the bank stuff, so. All right. Any other questions from the board?
I don't have a question, but I'm gonna have a request.
Okay.
These financials, and I know everything we've been going through, storm and all that good stuff. We just got them like yesterday evening, afternoon. Could we put off approving them till I have more time to just go through it all?
Yeah, I think we should be approving August. We just got October, because remember, we didn't work in September. So we just got them. As soon as we got them, we delivered them to you guys so that you could have time to
got you.
review. But I think that it would be more appropriate to approve August and not September. And we should, do we have October?
We don't have September or October yet.
Oh, okay. And in order for the financials to be in HSA does an excellent job. In order for them to be prepared in a timely manner, we have to provide the documentation to them in order to prepare the financials. That did not occur for obvious reasons. And even once we got back, we still went weeks without internet. So we were being as innovative. I was working most of my time from my cell phone. My cell phone had internet.
Mr. Woods, are you making a motion that we postpone?
That's what I was leading up to.
Okay.
And my motion would just be that we just not approve these financials until next month, whereas, speaking for myself, we just have more time to go through them.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Woods. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
All right?
That motion carries. So that'll give the board time to review everything, and we'll approve that for next month
All right, thank
on
you.
the agenda. And then we are at Ms. Hollis, update on the agency.
Okay, executive report. Our MENAR as of August was 1.69. Our UMP was and remember, this is as of August.
Right.
I should have had that written down. Bear with me a hot second. Well, while I'm going through the UMP, our HAP contract for that month was 176. Brandy, you did this already?
No, I have given the,
I'm stepping into you. Oh, I was supposed to let y'all go first anyway. And our HAP is gonna go down greatly. And Brandy, I'm not gonna put you on the spot because you haven't done anything, since August. Our UMP, we're almost up to, and for some reason, I'm not getting to the, exact number. But we are almost up to 100,000 with our UMP. We, I did share.
Just
Go
for
ahead.
clarity, will you just what the UNP means?
Unrestricted net position. It's one of your monitoring goals. Our UMP is $93,350. That's where we were at one point, a 189 negative. As it relates to the low rent report, the low rent, we are, let me back up to the hurricane. The original intent was not to evacuate. Maintenance had set me up. I had 2 generators. I had 10 of gas. There was no intent to evacuate because we understood we would have to hit the ground that Tuesday morning to deal with our tenant needs. I put maintenance up in the hotel Saturday around about noon. It had intensified to a 4 and was heading to a 5 at that point. I made a decision to evacuate. Communicated with Charles and also Chris, who were awesome throughout the storm. They got put out the hotel. I'm not sure, was it damaged?
Yeah, yes.
The hotel was damaged. They got put out the hotel. Charles went back. We distributed the generators that were in my backyard. And from Tuesday morning on, I would say we were at it from 6:30 in the morning to about 7 o'clock in the evening. Working with we had prepared to have whatever they needed after the storm, the stuff that actually wound up in Houston with us. But some still went to the developments, correct? We had so much we shared with Houma and Jefferson Parish and Orleans Parish. I received a phone call that is being denied at this time to evacuate our tenants. I was told that the tenants could not stay. I received one phone call asking for a status update. The status update was that we had no utility, no running water. The very next day, and I think I sent a text out to the board, stated that we could not keep our tenants there because it was unsanitary. That, at that point, put me in a tailspin because I'm like, how do I evacuate 2 developments? So I was told that the parish and through EOC could provide the transportation. That day we this was a Saturday?
Yes.
We contact EOC. EOC sent EMS the next morning. That was the next morning, and evacuated all of our disabled because they couldn't ride the bus. It was our understanding, and I say that it was my assumption that a bus would be available Monday. So we had tenants packing in and getting ready to leave. We were told to go to Houston. Houston set up a staging area to receive our clients and sent pictures of what they had done. No bus on Monday. Tuesday. At this point, we're talking to Jason. What's the other guy name?
Jason and
Billy Raymond, and there was another guy. His name started with a J. Joe. Yes. So we are communicating with these people. I want to say Tuesday, it was brought to my attention, hey, look, we could get a bus for you people. We had 30 at the time, but because the bus didn't come, people started moving on their own, those that had the wherewithal to do so. When we got the bus, oh, heck broke loose. I got a phone call from the administration saying that we weren't listening to anybody. We were doing what we wanted to do. We weren't working with EOC, which we were. We have the emails. Charles set meetings with them and shared. And I think that some of the people in the meeting also confirmed that we were communicating with them. But
So, to that point, I mean, we all know that there was a lot of communication breakdown at that time.
right, no problem with that. I
and-
was getting to today. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so I just want to say, I do know that ultimately it was coordinated with the help of the parish and with your assistance and with the Housing Authority and St. Charles Parish. Eventually, it all came together, and we did get there.
And we took care of our people. Here's the problem today. Today is that the accountant is reconciling books for the money I spent. We should not have had to spend money. But at some point, someone called the mayor of Houston and the chairman of the Housing Authority in Houston and said, okay, we can't take your people anymore. That was their response to the phone call that they got. So at this point, our clients on the bus, on their way to Houston, the director of the Houston Housing Authority took their credit card, went to a hotel, moved the people they had already accepted, and got rooms for those that came on the bus. So by the time the bus got there, we were there waiting for them all to get off the bus. But as a result, we wound up having to spend money. We had to pay for the hotel because it was being charged to Houston's credit card. Long story short, our accountant is trying to reconcile those things now because we do have the supporting documentation. So she attempted to, she wanted to know why did we evacuate, and I told her what happened. So she tried to facilitate a conference call on yesterday, and she sent me an email where the field office director said, I didn't tell them to evacuate. So I don't know how to deal with that right now. We'll work through it. I am working with FEMA. Louisiana Housing Corporation hired a consultant on our behalf that is working with us and Gallagher, which is our insurance company. So what we're looking for is to get reimbursement from FEMA, you know, because if they're saying, I mean, I think I have enough documentation to prove it. Matter of fact, I need you, Brandy, to get a detailed printout of my cell phone because that doesn't come in the bill for the month of September. But, and also emails and communication I had outside of the parish and emails. I think that there's enough documentation. However, I think that maybe the gun was jumped. And, I mean, I followed instructions. I think the gun was jumped. I think that the way that things were dealt with after this disaster did not occur as some people would have anticipated. I have no experience, but we're not getting any disaster money. We have not gotten anything from FEMA. We have not gotten anything from GOSEP. And remember, when I say FEMA, I'm dealing with two different sides because there's the FEMA part that works with HUD, and then there's the FEMA part that works with the insurance company. We are doing very well on that end. On the HUD side, zilch, nothing. But I just wanted to put that on the table. One of the things that's very important to me is always being transparent. When I do something wrong, I come and say I did something wrong. If I make a mistake, I say it. I was told that those people could not stay there. However, that's why I was getting into that long story.
And I think that's stuff that we need to hear. I know you and I communicated right afterwards, and my comments to you were do what you need to do to take care of our clients, and I stand behind that comment and what you did. I know you're going to have the supporting documents to support what you did, so I was just going to say let's just keep moving forward with it. It's a learning curve for all of us, this particular disaster, and we just keep going forward. I think the main thing is that the clients' needs were met and people were safe and they're back home now, and we're moving forward with our housing authority of St. Charles Parish.
Well, all of our people are not back. We have about 75 displaced families.
All right.
There is a desperate shortage of places to send them. Section 8. It's both.
Oh, it's both.
That's a combination of them both. For the low rent tenants, my initial plan, you guys approved last September, I think it was, a procurement process. What that procurement process has in it is an emergency declaration. And because the parish of St. Charles is in a state of emergency, that gave us the right to do a waiver on soliciting bids. Even if we do a bid, we still can't get contractors right now. So we moved to use that process so that we could do make-ready units to bring our people home. We have six people. And we got bid. We had the insurance inspector to look at it. We had the contractor to come out and look at it. And once we submitted the information, we had a conference call because I need technical assistance. The conference call said I needed to request the use of it. I was denied that request. I was told that FEMA is providing assistance. I need to say that over 50% of our people were denied for FEMA assistance. over 50%. We are working with Southern Legal, and that's where we're referring to Ms. Hannah Adams, who literally sued us in the past, but I was so impressed by her work. And she's actually at the Dufresne Center. So we're sending our people there, but here's the issue. The emergency hasn't gone away. I understand there's a bureaucracy, but the emergency hasn't gone away. They're in places that's uncomfortable. We can't make the units ready, even though we have the resources to do it. So today, what I have been instructed to do is to do, well, I said I would do it. I was not instructed. I need to be careful with my terminology. I said I would go through the normal process and do an RFP, which means I had to find a public adjuster to go out and do cost estimates for those 6 units. And now the question is, why am I doing minimum repair opposed to total repair? It's not that simple. We have a tax credit application that we're doing, which limits what we can do to the units. So if we go in there and bring the units up to the 2 where we are going to do in our tax credit, it compromises the tax credit, which has been ready for months. We submitted our we submitted our conversion plan in April. My development partner and I, we're still waiting for feedback. When we went to DC, Maryland and Webb, we were told that SEC, the Chicago office where our application goes, would take less than 90 days. Our application has not left New Orleans. So it's a catch-20. It is a catch-22. I'm hoping that I could work it out where they say, okay, we'll just do the minimum, which would cost somewhere around $196,000 to do 6 units. We pay more than that for 3. If I tried to do what it is, and right now they're saying cost feasibility. If I tried to do it and bring the units up to where our goal is with those units, it's going to cost me well over $500,000. 1. 2, if I spend $500,000 on those units to get them ready, that is going to deplete our CFP money, which we have been saving because we need that money when we do our conversion. So I'm stuck.
Question. Why would we put money into repairing those units that need repairing if we're going to go through with the conversion?
We need somewhere to house the tenants.
They can't stay where they are until, even though we don't know how long that's going to take for the...
Well, the process they have us going through, they're saying FEMA was doing extensions, and FEMA was doing extensions. And now FEMA's not doing extensions. They're giving trailers.
They're giving what?
Trailers.
Oh.
Travel trailers. So I'm talking to Charles. I'm like, Charles, how many trailers can we put back here? So he's like, well, we could accommodate the 6 in the travel trailers. So I sent that to her, and I was denied. But it says it's too much of a liability. So
That's our field office, you're saying?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm working through it. I'll have more information to share with you guys at the next board meeting. But those are the things that we've been doing.
Are there any options to, and you hate to displace a family, but are there any options to transfer them to another housing authority somewhere else?
Everybody's having the same problem. We do have tenants who have left from so that's low rent. That's low rent. For our HCB program, we are porting out. If they request, we are approving it. Okay. We are approving it, but we have some that just can't find anything.
Jefferson's having big time problems.
Orleans is having it. St. John is having it. St. James, Houma. Everybody, and the only other place, and that has to be the tenant-led, is to take them out of state. One of the recommendations I did get from the field office is let them go to a shelter, because there are still shelters that are being manned by FEMA. However, there's none in Louisiana. There are no shelters in Louisiana, so that means not only do I displace them, I'm taking them from whatever support system they have, and they have to leave their job. those are the dilemmas. So I've been meeting with realtors, going back to our original roots, meeting with realtors. The last request that I put into FEMA, and I'm waiting for a response, is will they be willing to allow me to temporarily place my Section 8 tenants in a unit until their unit by the landlord is repaired. I'm waiting for an answer on that, because that will require a waiver, because the regulations state they have to stay there at least a minimum of 12 months. So I'm waiting on that. I mean, I might have to go lobby on this one.
Which brings me to, I get it, day-to-day operations is yours, but that still takes me to what, as a board, can we do to assist you? People to contact, we do some emergency resolution. I understand you're the director and you're the day-to-day operations. I get that, but what can, as this board, do to make?
Well, you guys
to
can
assist?
we could do a state of emergency. We did that before, huh?
Yeah, when the sewer thing, yeah.
For the sewer thing, and that worked out for us well. We could do a state of emergency for the agency, because it's still an emergency. The problem has not gone away.
Absolutely.
For our tenants. I think that is one thing. When I first was hired, we went to Delario, and Webb and I went to meet with HUD, and HUD emphatically stated they don't tell us what to do. It's the board decisions. So if we're making decisions and they're denying us decisions and they're not giving us insight as what to do, I'm lost. So to answer your question, welcome aboard. Get involved. I'll start putting you on the conference calls. I have so many Zoom meetings and conference calls and team meetings. I think some people just like to do it. Yeah. Really. I have to comb my hair working from home. Yeah. But I'll start getting you involved. I know that Webb is inundated. So you're the vice president. Council lady, I'll be calling you.
I would say right now, I mean, I do have some time, and with this board's permission, as much as I can legally do and suggest or whatever, that I think Ms. Hollis has got a lot going on right now, and if we could.
Yeah, I think some board voices in those conference calls with HUD helps. I know the ones that I've been able to participate in, I think that it's beneficial. So anything like that the vice chair needs to do to accomplish, to help facilitate that, and likewise the other board members.
Yeah, I would like to not have a phone call with them by myself. Ever again, because as soon as I got the email, I forwarded it to all of you guys. I need to get your email in my system, Ms. Jackson. No, I have yours. I forwarded the email to you guys because I was dumbfounded. Charles came with something, my board packet, and I'm sitting there like, I was dumbfounded because everybody around me knew what we were going through to try and get those people to safety. And I had no money. Our credit card bill had not been paid because we were buying appliances. Because I had not planned to evacuate, I had no checks. LaRon Bird got on an airplane and did a turnaround flight to bring me those checks that I was writing. If he would not have done that, we'd all been stuck. We all would have been stuck. And Brandy and I, the last day, that was the day that they were leaving. Yeah, that Wednesday. And let me talk about Pastor Deckbar. Oh my God. These people prepared hot meals for our people, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, delivered them, provided. I had tenants on the bus who didn't have clothes on their back. Who only had the clothes on their back. Clothing, personal hygiene. When that bus pulled, and we got in trouble, I got in trouble again. When that bus pulled into Boutique, I had to call Chris and Charles. I'm like, I need y'all to meet him. They came back with enough stuff to share for both developments. That's how good they were to us. But it was a stressful time.
I'm glad the parish stepped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the parish was misled. I think somebody called. In order for it, I've worked with Matt. I already know. I know what Matt was out at our development passing out meals. Right, Charles? He was personally passing out meals to our tenants. I know that. But what caught me off guard was when he said, "You're not listening to her." And I'm like, what's going on? At that point is when I really understood I had a problem. Because that was not normally our communication. But I called a friend because they sent me the email address for Houston. It was Labor Day weekend. I'm like, these people are not going to be answering emails till Tuesday. So when I read the name, Mark Feely, I'm like, oh, I know Mark. Mark and I ran the Road Home program together. He trained me. So I called a friend to get Mark's cell phone number. That friend, I had no idea he was going to do that, called the Secretary of HUD. Secretary of HUD called New Orleans. Everything changed at that point. Everything changed. And then that's when phone calls started happening that did not include me. Yeah, but I prefer not to be on any call. So whenever they want to say, if I get a phone call, I'm telling you guys this because I need to cover myself. If I get a phone call, I will not answer it. I will call a board member and then return a phone call. Because the phone call is a he say, she say. Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Hollis. Ms. Hayes.
I gave her report.
Yeah. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that? I know we covered a lot, so.
Yeah.
everything was covered.
I came with something on my chest.
Ms. Taylor, you got anything you need to add?
No, we're just waiting for debris to be picked up. We made a decision on a contractor who's gonna do the debris removal.
Did we make a decision?
Yes.
Did we?
Yes.
Did I
McFaith.
tell you who?
No, McFaith.
Who said that?
I did.
Oh.
Sorry if I overstepped. We got the three.
Maintenance?
We
He
got
is-
the three bids.
He is the maintenance supervisor. He was Superman during the hurricane. The governor's office called him to thank him for his contribution.
Yes, I did. I did receive a call from the governor's office.
He was Superman.
Yes.
And I'm calling him at 6:30 in the morning. I know you don't normally get up that early. But
No.
I can't help myself.
Leechers, this is how I look at it. If you wouldn't have taken that proactiveness, that step that you did, that thing could have went totally in reverse. And
Them tenants will be suing us right now.
People they had on the news where they left all the people, the nursing home people, and put them in this and didn't do what they were supposed to be doing. So you being proactive, I think, was a really great thing.
Right, because the
you
only
went the
only
opposite
people
way
that
you-
stayed back there was the people that wanted to stay. You know, and some of the people that was able to evacuate, they evacuated on their own. But the only people that were back there wanted to stay back there.
And those that got on the bus had no other way to get out there. I had to spend $450 on a dog. I had a tenant to get off the bus with a dog. The people told us no animals under any circumstances. I wound up dog sitting and had to spend $450 because my grandson was playing with the dog and dropped him. And the dog was limping. I'm like, oh, Jesus, he done broke the dog leg. So I had to have an x-ray and bring him to the vet. But Charles is having heart surgery on Friday.
Ooh. Our prayers are with you, sir.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Keep us updated on your progress with that. Any further discussion?
No, I'm saying no and gonna say something at the same time. Oxymoron. I just want to say, Ms. Hollis, I want to just emphasize to you that you're not in this by yourself. This board is with you. I think the chair has, and the rest of the board members have kind of said that give us a call. So I'm expecting to hear from you, and I'll support you in some of those Zoom calls.
Awesome, thank you very much.
All right, at this time, I'll open for public comment. Seeing no one here for public comment, do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion, second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned at 6:45.